Why does avoiding something not bring relief, but guilt? You know the feeling. You put off that important task, that difficult conversation, that thing you know you should do. And for a moment, there's a wave of relief. The pressure is off. But then, almost immediately, something else creeps in. A quiet weight. A heaviness in your chest. It's guilt. We usually think guilt comes from doing something wrong, from a mistake we've made. But so often, guilt actually comes from not acting. It comes from knowing, deep down, that we are not living in alignment with what truly matters to us, with our values. Avoidance creates a split inside of us. One part of you knows what's important, what you need to do to grow or to be the person you want to be. Another part, driven by fear or discomfort, pulls away. And your mind experiences that internal conflict not as a logical problem, but as an emotional one, guilt. Here's what's happening on a deeper level. When you avoid something stressful, your nervous system gets a temporary break. It relaxes. That's the fleeting sense of relief. But your core values, your sense of purpose, those don't just disappear. So while your body might be resting, your mind is still running in the background, sending you a constant notification. This isn't finished. This still matters. That nagging reminder is what guilt feels like. So, maybe guilt isn't always self-punishment. Maybe, sometimes, it's actually a form of self-awareness. It's your mind's way of telling you, hey, this part of you still cares. This is still important. The longer the avoidance continues, the louder that feeling of guilt can become. Not because you're a failure, but because the gap between who you are right now and who you aspire to be is widening. Every day you avoid, you drift a little further from your own integrity. Guilt isn't asking you to judge yourself or beat yourself up. It's asking you to reconnect, to take responsibility, not for achieving perfection, but for choosing your direction. You don't resolve this kind of guilt by attacking yourself. You resolve it by taking one small, honest step toward the very thing you've been avoiding. Even a tiny action can begin to close that gap. Ultimately, avoidance creates guilt because a part of you always knows the truth of what you need to do. And that guilt finally begins to fade not when you punish yourself for procrastinating, but when you find the courage to simply begin to move again. Thanks for watching. If this resonated with you, consider subscribing for more content on understanding ourselves a little better. See you next time.